Hello,
Hey, good morning. Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Thank you. Here, let me make it a little easier. I look kind of the same.
That's amazing.
So hi, I'm Rene. Yes, I think we were introduced via James. He's a really nice guy and he's really smart on just like working on like no code, low code kind of stuff. And I think we were introduced originally by him. But yes, hi. Thanks for wanting to chat with me. I'm excited to chat and see how maybe I can assist.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm also happy to chat. I'm Julia. And yeah, if to tell briefly about me and what I'm doing is that I've been like running a program now, like it's a pilot that is finishing. So it's a program where we teach women to build the project ideas with we focused purely on no code previous 4 months. No code, but with some AI integrations. So we hosted a few workshops on how you can do AI apps with no code, right?
Fantastic.
So yeah. So for the future, like for the next cohort, I'm planning to keep the same format, but bring in more work with AI. Plus, I will be testing a new format where this time we bring participants with companies and invite them to solve the challenges of companies in the like in the field of automation.
Hmm.
So building AI agents to help companies to solve different struggles. And I got curious is in your background, your experience with AI. If you could tell me also a bit more what is your area of expertise and what exactly you are doing.
Yeah, sure. I'll just go right into it. So, let me give you a little bit more background about me, so that way it makes sense why I'm going to tell you what I do. So, first of all, I dropped out of college first semester years ago. College wasn't for me. Throughout high school, I was a D student. I was not very good at any of this kind of stuff. Back about a year and a month ago, I ended up closing my company, and I was upset. So I decided what I was going to do was I was going to learn how to use AI to go and make code. Because I was thinking, well, it took my team 2, 3 months. How long would it take me if I just used AI? I'm just curious. So I did it, and it took me
Uh,
2, 3 days.
One
And
second. May I ask something? You are recording this, right? Or not? The meeting.
uh, what?
Are you recording the meeting?
Yes, if you see, there's this little read.ai meeting.
Yeah, so it's only transcript or the video as well.
It'll be video and transcript, and it'll send you a copy also.
Thank you so much. Awesome.
Of
Yeah.
course. No problem. It's a really cool AI. You'll like it at the end. Uh, and it takes like 30 minutes to send before it sends it, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically after I built the product in 2, 3 days that took my company 2, 3 months. I realized there was a disconnect there, so I wanted to see what could I build. So I went and started building a lot of stuff. Eventually I met James because he also saw that I was trying to just build code without actually knowing how to build code at all. And eventually what it led to was that a friend of mine was like, "Hey, Renee, can you teach classes on this?" I'm like, "No, I don't know how to teach classes. I don't even know what I'm doing." But then eventually I was like, "You know what? Fine. If we can get me paid, I'll do it." So we were charging some tickets. We actually got like a solid like 30 tickets sold the first month or whatever, just between me and him. Which was okay. But it was cool because we started realizing that people were willing to pay to learn on how to use AI to be educated and do different crap. So I was very excited about that. And once I figured that part out, I just kept going. I went to hackathons. I started topping a lot of different hackathons. I started building out like a lot of different people's products. Here, I'll show you some stuff. So this is my portfolio website. There's a lot of like this is actually meant for like mobile, not really like desktop, but which is why it's a little formatted weird. But these are all projects that like I've rather won or I've topped an event with. I don't really show like all of my projects. I just show like the ones that like actually won, and I don't even show all of them. But I show all that stuff. I also show like videos on like, hey, let's say someone wanted to learn how to be a developer. Well, this little 13-minute video will teach you exactly everything you need to know on how to be a developer. You don't need to be going to a boot camp and spending all this money. You can just learn how to do it real quick in this. And it's quick. All I do is I teach people the concept of using AI and also an IDE that is very simple for anyone to use. So here's a quick example. This little web page that I made. I built this the other day. I built this in about an hour. I was at a hackathon, maybe drinking a little too much, and my friend was like, "Hey, Renee, for the hackathon, do you think you could build this?" I was like, "Sure, I'll just do it. I don't care." So I did it. And it's a little, little application things. That way people can go and join the little hacker house. It's a cute little landing page. It has a little chat bot here actually that you could talk to, and whenever you talk to it, it actually responds because it's an AI agent. So it'll like respond with like actual relevant data based off of whatever the question was. So I just said hi. But if I asked more details or I wanted to know more about the hacker house, it could actually answer more and stuff, such as all this information. So there's all that. Yeah, I have fun. I think it's really cool whenever anybody can take code like this, put it there, click run, test it, click deploy, and it deploys, and then it's done, and now you have a website link that you can send people. And if you know how to use AI to go and do the rest, then you're doing great.
That's pretty awesome, really.
Yeah, thanks.
um, uh, so you learned everything like by YouTube, I would imagine. And
No, I did just by doing it. I again, I can't read or write code. I won and topped a lot of events, but I can't read or write code. I
yes,
only use AI. So I've gotten so good at just using the AI to build stuff, and not even just copy pasting code, but also doing stuff like having an autonomous agent in my computer where I can ask it a question and it can control my computer. There's all these times whenever I'm like, oh hey, there's an environment system dependency that's not on path. I don't know how to do this. I can ask my AI and it fixes it for me. If I say
what?
like, hey, huh?
Yeah, yeah, sure, continue.
I would just mentioning that like anytime I need anything done in my computer, I can just set that up and make that happen. So
What tools do you use?
a lot, a lot of tools. In fact, there's so many different ways to do all of this shit that I more ask what device do you want to use? Do you have like is it a strong device? Is it a weak device? Depending on the answer, I always give a different answer. So like let's say you gave me like a small little pie and the pie is very small or whatever, it's not strong. Well, then I would give you an answer of using open interpreter with an open AI API key. But then let's say you're like, hey, I actually have a Windows laptop that has a 3080 Ti hard drive in it or whatever. They'll be like, okay, great. Then you can use Open Interpreter, but go ahead and just download LM Studio and download the LM that you want, and then you can go and have it as like an open source model on your computer. And then when you run it through Open Interpreter, you can set it up to be on local all the time. So anytime you ask a question, it uses that local GPU. Then you have like a no cost ever. And then the question is like, well, what are you trying to do? Maybe you're like, hey, all I really want to do is I want to take this 3D printer over here and I want to make it AI enabled. Great, awesome. So you're gonna probably use something like a Raspberry Pi or an ESP32 or something to plug in through the USB. So you're gonna need that, and then you're gonna need probably use just Open Interpreter with an API key because there's no GPU on it, so you don't want to run like heavy hardware. You just want it to be able to take Wi-Fi in and just execute on it. So I'd recommend that because then you can just set it up and it works just as fast as a strong GPU. And it's great because now you can send information to it and it can create AI images to convert that AI image into a 3D model and then convert that 3D model into a G code, which is what's used to go and print 3D. So all kinds of answers for all kinds of problems.
Did you explore the business opportunities for those, like all this time where you're building products and projects for yourself? Or did you also do some consultancy for businesses or any other?
So, so I live in San Francisco. It's kind of expensive here. I have to force myself to constantly sell. Anytime I can make any dollar, I do it. So what ended up happening was like, yes, there was several projects that were like, hey, Rene, we don't know how to do this. Can we pay you to tell us how to do this? I was like, okay, cool. So they'll tell me of the problem. I'll go research the problem. I'll create my own solution because I'm amazing at creating pipelines and solutions because I have so many like event wins and stuff. Like I just know how to do it off the top. I just need to know what the problem is. So once I understand the problem and I can identify the solution, I schedule the next meeting and we go in for like a 90-minute chat and we do a consultation. Or I can go and build it out depending on the scope of work. or whatever. It really depends on like what the client wants. But yes, there was several times where I've done consultations, I built products out. I've won an event. I won an award this year from NAB actually, and that was because a client of mine paid me to build out the product for them. So I said okay, gave it, they won, yippee.
Yay. Yeah, that's amazing. Then I ask for a bit of consultancy for my own like project. So imagine situation where there is like a hackathon event for like 3 days, and participants come without technical background, and they are asked to solve a challenge for the company. Let's say they have a problem with lead generation, right? For how long period of time, or like how much would they need to learn beforehand to be able to build a solution in 3 days using AI tools?
So what was the problem statement one more time?
You mean
Uh,
repeat everything that I said, or?
the beginning part. What are they building for again? Uh,
Uh, yeah, okay. So they are building for a company that has a problem with lead conversion. So
lead conversion.
yeah,
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to hear you and I was like, I'm not understanding. Go one more time. So someone that needs to go and solve a lead conversion problem, how
yes,
long would it take for them to go and use AI to create a
yes.
solution for that?
To learn if they don't know anything yet about AI.
Fantastic. Uh, After spending an hour with learning from my class, they will learn everything on how to do everything with the AI and actually do something with the AI. So if the AI gives you code, you'll know what to do with the code within 1 hour. I don't think you need even longer than that to do what you're doing because what I do, and I explain this all the time in my classes, and you'll hear this also. Anytime anybody builds anything, no one needs to actually know how to write code. They don't need to know the expertise on that specific situation. What they really need to know is the problem, the components of the problem, and an actionable plan. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say, hey, I want to build a rocket ship. Great. I don't know how to build a rocket ship. I don't know what kind of components there are. I don't know what kind of metal. I don't know what kind of fuel. I don't know what kind of any of that. But that's the cool part. I just started saying the parts that I don't know. So eventually, once you find all the pieces that you need for the spaceship or whatever, you understand what's all relevant. Then once you understand what's all relevant, you can say like, well, out of all these 100 pieces, these 20 pieces are the best of the best. So I'm going to create a solution using these 20 pieces. So what you do is you use the AI to create an actionable plan to take those pieces and make it so that way whenever you're done with one step, you cross it off. And eventually when you're done with the project, you have a whole spaceship built. And you do this in a high level down where you just identify like what's the problem, what's needed for these problems, and then we can create an actionable solution afterwards. And AI helps lead you through that entire process. You just need to know the concept or like the kind of the questions to ask. And it's not, I don't like to say prompt engineering either because I feel like that's wrong. I feel it's more every time you go and ask a question, it will always be based off what you believe the problem is and what you believe actually just the problem. The problem is the most important part. So if you tell the AI, like, hey, look, I have this rocket ship. I don't know how to build a rocket ship. It's going to tell you all the pieces. And then once it tells you all the pieces, you decide, well, what are the best pieces? You keep asking questions about the pieces. You're going to find out real quick which is the best piece because you're going to say, like, well, I need it actually to do this and not this. And then the AI is going to tell you, well, oh, well, if you needed to do this, then I think this would be the better option than this one because it does this part specifically for your need. Eventually, you realize all the pieces that you need, the best of the best of the pieces, and then you just put it together. So for lead software, you would ask the AI like, "Hey, look, I have this problem for leads converting software, whatever, blah blah blah. I need a solution." Cool. The AI is gonna the AI is gonna ask a couple questions like, "Well, what's your problem? What are you trying to solve for this lead solution? What kind of company is your lead solution?" a couple things like that, and then it would go and help give solutions. And then once you have a couple options, you pick your best option. And then the AI will help you create an actionable plan, how to use that best option, and then you just go. And then you're done with it by the time you're done with it. So realistically, if they learn that within an hour and they go into the boot camp, they probably will have a fucking product within 2 hours. Because I've done this with so many teams that like I go and like lead and stuff like for like hackathons and stuff. I just show them that little concept and then we just start tackling it together. And I that's just the winning formula for me. So
That's amazing. Yeah.
thanks.
And what was the most complicated product that you have built yourself?
I don't really know. That's an easy question for me because everything I build, I don't read the docs for. I do the same solution plan for every time I build anything. So for example, if I want to build an AI agent, I know I'm going to need some lane chain documentation. I know the AI that I have, it doesn't already have that. But I also know how to put in together a RAG, a vector database to go and put that data in. So what I can do is I can set up an LLM that takes all the documents based off of whatever I'm trying to do. I can ask questions, it reads the documents, and then it executes for me whatever I needed to do. So there's never been a problem that's been very hard for me to build. Uh Actually, sorry. There is one specific thing that AI is not very good at. It's called algorithm engineering. I am not very good at that. You can do some junior engineer stuff with that, but once you start getting the mid-level, you really start running into errors. So I wouldn't recommend that one. That's the only thing I would suggest. But everything else, not an issue. I build multi-model agents. I've won awards for it. I've done agents on like different documentations. I put AI stuff into like actually this is actually an open source thing. But this is a little note taker. So what happens is like it records all the stuff that like I'm talking. So if I'm in like a meeting or if I'm in an event or something, it records everything, sends it to my phone, and then I have an AI on my phone that goes and reads all the data, parses it all, creates a calendar list for me. So that way I have notifications like, hey, you said yesterday you're gonna do this, follow up on it. So like I just do this is also like an open source thing, so anyone can do this. But like I build shit. I have fun. I build whatever I can with whatever money we can get on board. I do it. If there's no money, whatever. But I try my best to make money on the board because at the end of the day, San Francisco is expensive and I like living here.
Hmm. And what about like apps, web apps and mobile apps development? Does it feel different from building AI agents? Did you try?
No, you saw the little web page I showed you earlier?
Yeah, yeah. But like,
That's that
I
that's a
mean,
web
like,
front.
but apps have like like a lot of layers. It's like the complexity or like the complexity of the project is like is bigger. So my question like is
You can
when you
build bigger.
so it
You can
doesn't
build
really matter.
bigger. No, yeah, I just do things in an hour because I'm lazy as fuck. So I try to get shit done in an hour, get whatever. If someone pays me well, sure, I can spend a month or two on it, and I'll give you better product than any team put together because I'm the one doing it, and I've won so many events against teams that it doesn't matter. I can just do everything solo, and I still win. So there's no size of project that's ever the only thing I've ever had like also a slight issue with, and I know it's not really an issue. I don't want to do it is PHP, but I prefer doing stuff with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I prefer doing stuff with React. I can set up API servers all day with Python and Node.js. I can set up like all kinds of crazy shit.
Nice.
Oh, and we can build phone apps.
What?
We can build phone apps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, when you were answering my question about apps, you already
Oh,
and to
sorry.
the tips as well. Yeah. Amazing. Um,
Yeah, AI is fun, and I think everybody, or I think anyone should code, and anybody that wants to code should be able to code. Anybody can do it.
exactly. 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 Um, yeah. And when you like, now I'm also asking like out of curiosity, like when you started learning, what was like the first couple of simple projects that you have created?
Sorry, I just had like three people send me messages about like, "Hey Renee, I need your you," and then someone was trying to call me all at once. I'm like, "God damn, everybody, stop it real quick! Can you repeat that last question one more time?"
No, no,
I'm so
no
sorry.
worries. No worries. I was asking, so what was the first couple of projects that you created just to understand what was your learning path in
Yeah,
the last
so
year?
the very first thing I did was I recreated what my last company built because I was upset that my company took 2, 3 months to build it, and I thought it wasn't fair, and I thought it should have been a lot quicker and faster. So I did it in 2, 3 days. And what that product is, it's an XR communication uh, messaging thing. It allows me to go and be in VR headset and then video call directly to my phone. So that way, if I'm I'm here and you're at an event and I wanted to video call you, I could video call you and you take the video call on your phone, and I can be wherever. So that's what that was, and it was cool. So I was very happy that I was able to do that.
Nice. And you use like mostly ChatGPT for consultancy or other
I
tools?
use a lot of AIs, but yes, GPT is one of the most biggest one for me. I'm a giant component and proportion of that. I also recommend if you use GPT, use the paid version.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I use Gemini specifically. I use Pro 1.5. That's the 2 million context window. It's a waitlist type of thing, but you can just apply and get off of it like I don't know, maybe a month or two. But
But
they're
what
cool.
is it? Why like for example, what is the advantage of Gemini or
Sure.
what?
ChatGPT context limit 128,000 tokens. The one I have with Gemini 2 million. So you have 20 times the bandwidth. A lot
All
bigger.
right. All right. Got it. Yeah. Got it. Um. Well, like I think I got already a lot of answers. Sorry for like bumping you
No,
with questions,
I
but
love it. I love answering questions and stuff. I hope I was somewhat useful for you, and I hope that I can be useful for your guys' class because I think that would be really cool. I am definitely
absolutely,
looking for more opportunities like this. Paid
yeah,
or not paid, but I am looking for it because I think it's something that I'm really starting to find a passion for because like I said, just a year ago I couldn't code anything, and now I'm doing it with the best of the best, and I feel that anyone should be able to do this. So
absolutely. Like I'm excited to work with you. Like
thanks.
the next hackathon event we are planning for the beginning of September. Yes, it's not soon, but for that I want to create this sort of like one or a couple of tutorials to get people started and for them
Sure.
to get with like knowledge and confidence into challenge solution. So it could be the first working opportunity for us. And second one, yeah, like for the longer program, that's amazing. Like your skills, like literally incredibly helpful, I believe.
Thank you.
And yeah, I do think that the future is after AI and not so much like no code. So I'm trying also to like incorporate it as much as possible because it's really like having I don't know hundreds or thousands of women creating products with AI, it's like it's a strong force.
Absolutely. And you guys are very smart also. A lot of men are hard-headed in the way they think. So like there's definitely guys that like if you give them a problem, they won't use something because they're like, oh, I'm not familiar with it. I won't do it. I'll do this one because I know it. So they're almost like hard-headed, and that's because they've been doing it for so long. Whenever you take someone that doesn't know anything about it, they'll use anything. So if you take people, women that are not educated at all in any of this, those are the best people to take because they are smart just with knowing how to ask questions because they're not stupid. They know how to ask questions properly. So if you put them and pair them with an AI, you can have them build really crazy shit. I actually have a friend of mine. I actually taught her like 3 months ago how to go and use AI to build code, and she just yesterday or like a couple days ago, she had a Zoom chat with me, and she sent me her little project that she built. She was so excited about like it building it. It was really cool. It's like a little AI assistant project, but like she's very proud about it and she's just going with it. And that's the best part. Because once they're inspired and they just keep going, it doesn't matter who it is, you'll create value for like everyone. And it's amazing. And that's why I'm so excited about it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Do you do you have any questions to me now at this moment?
Um, Not necessarily. I just really appreciate getting the opportunity just to chat. I like talking and I like talking about this subject and it's fun. So
I could talk even longer than that, but I also respect your time, so I was trying to be concise. And I was
good.
also curious. So you are
Sure.
doing now this recording. May I use the recording for the YouTube channel? I created a new channel, so I think it's going to be very useful for people. It's also
Sure.
documenting how we are like it documented the potential and how we are coming up with a program.
Yeah.
So
There's going to be a lot of information. You're going to have to sign up. It's free. But you're going to get the email. Just click on it, sign it. It's really cool. I'm a big fan of it. It'll be like 30 minutes or so after this call, but it's really cool.
okay, cool. So I can use it, and I will for sure add your contact details and everything, so you will be tagged in case someone gets
Sure.
interested to connect with you. Nice.
I I appreciate all the opportunity. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah.
I gotta go because I got now more meetings that I gotta go take care of. But you have a great day and take care.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.